Willpower Doesn't Work by Benjamin Hardy, and I will also put a link to that book in the description here. And the premise of this book is all about setting up your environment for success. And the premise unpacks how more than our desire to change things, our desire to be different, what has a greater impact on us and our decisions is our environment. So if we have this desire to change and grow, but our environment stays the same, we are fighting an uphill battle to make changes because nothing in our environment has changed to make space for or even to trigger that new behavior or habit. So the goal is to think about your environment and think about your goals and then take time to find the correlation. How is my environment, my setup, helping me achieve my top goals, or how is it not helping me achieve my top goals? An example of this would be if there's someone who wants to work out first thing when they wake up, one of the things they could do to change their environment is they could actually sleep in their workout clothes. They could go to bed in their workout clothes so that when their alarm goes off, they're already dressed, they're ready. They could also put their shoes right by their bed so that they're ready to put on those shoes and go work out. And in the book, he talks about two types of enriched environments. So often when we think about our goals, we think about action, we think about doing, but there's actually two environments that are very important to pay attention to. One is where you are doing. Maybe it's writing your book or exercising, eating healthier. So you want to think about optimizing your environment for that activity and that action. The other environment that we need to consider is the environment in which we can rest, in which we can turn off our brains from work, turn off our brains from writing, stepping away. We truly need both of these, because if we are just work, work, work all the time, we are going to burn out, and it's going to be so much harder to dig out of a burnout hole. And so we need rest. We need to take that time. Now, each of us has a tendency towards one of these. So some of us tend toward, like me, confession time, we tend towards being kind of task-oriented. We love getting things done. And so it's very easy for us to live and think about and maybe even optimize our environment for action. But like for me, this rest piece is so hard to practice sometimes. And so what I love about this book and this idea is that it encourages you to think about not just productive, growing, learning, but that time to rest, to let things marinate, to explore things. And I heard a really interesting stat. I don't know if this is 100% accurate, but it said that often when we're in work mode, that's not where our greatest ideas come from or our greatest creative insight comes from. Most of our creative insight comes when we are at rest, when we are doing something different, when we're driving, when we're taking a shower, when we're talking with a friend. That's where we kind of make connections. And so as a writer, as an artist, those are the two environments that we can focus on. And that is part of why every week I ask you, how are you resting? How are you taking care of yourself? Because we're not workhorses meant to just go, go, go all the time. Okay, so let me see if I have any other highlights here. The last highlight I wanted to share from the book is he had this line where he says subtraction is also productivity. So simplifying, taking things off your plate, decluttering your environment, all of that will actually help you have more focus and more ability to move forward. For example, you may know this already, but Steve Jobs almost wears the same outfit every single day, eats the same breakfast, eats the same lunch, and the reason that he has done that is because he knows that the fewer decisions he has to make about eating, dressing, kind of mundane, repetitive tasks, the fewer decisions he has to make, the more brain space he has created, the more energy, the more creativity he is allowing to focus on his projects, focus on what he's building. And I love that as a writer. So in some ways I've kind of tweaked that to my own life. I don't have just one outfit. Obviously you see me in different outfits, but in my closet I literally have outfits hung, and then every morning I take the one at the front and I wear it, and then when I do laundry and put clothes back, they go at the back. So I literally rotate through my outfits and clothes so that I don't have to think about it in the morning. So I'm sharing all of this with you to give you some things to think about this weekend. Looking at your environment. Is this helping me achieve my goals? Are there ways that I can optimize my environment to do my goals and work on them? And that could even be dedicating a space to your writing, always going to a coffee shop to write for an hour, or whatever that could look like. Building a space where you can develop that habit where almost when you go into that space, your body just knows, okay, I'm writing or I'm reading. This is what I do here. And then at the same time, think about your rest. Are you truly resting? Are you disconnecting? How are you turning off from productivity, from writing, from working? Because those transitions into those spaces are so important. Okay, my friends, I know that's a lot.